Alright, Kumbala Express TV olunaku olwaleero ba members of parliament saako n'abakulembeze abali ku ddaala erya LC5 bakuŋŋaanidde wano mu Mbale City basobole okuba nga ate batema empenda buti abo basobole okuba nga ate baadressinga ebizibu ebinene ebyolekedde regioni ya Bugisu sub-region. Bakulembeddwamu ne Honorable Godfrey Wakoli ono nga yatwala Bugisu Parliamentary Caucus era nga chairperson waayo era nga awerekeddwako ba members of parliament abenjawulo saako ne ba LC5 chairpersons saako ne ba mayors abebibuga naddala ekya Mbale City. Ezimu ku nsonga ezimu kwezi zibogeddeko eziruma abantu ba Bugisu sub-region kwe kuba nti tetulina kye bayita public university n'okuba nti ensonga za resettlement nazo zisobola okuba nga ate zireetera abantu bangi obuzibu naddala abakyali mu resettlement camp ebunambutye oluvannyuma lw'okuba nti gavumenti yayisa bilioni 50 okuba nti ewa buli family acres 2 saako n'okuba nga ate babawa milioni 2 basobole okuba nga ate bafuna awantu we babeera nga walungiko okusinga mu bitundu bye babaddemu ebibumbulukamu ettaka. Kakati ng'ovudde ku nsonga eyo ey'okuba nti abantu abo tebanaba kubanga ate bafuna sente ezo bagamba nti abantu abo bali mu mbeera mbi, welfare yaabwe mbi nga ne kabuyonjo zaabwe abamu zajjula. Aba MPs boogedde ne ku nsonga ez'enjawulo ng'ezo development naddala okuba nti bateekawo kye bayita value addition plant wano mu Bugisu sub-region esobola okuba nga ate eyongerako omutindo gw'emmwanyi mu kitundu kino saako n'okutumbula ebyenfuna. Awamu n'ekyo kye boogeddeko ekirala kwe kuba nga ate batumbula ebyobulambuzi naye nga bagamba nti tosobola kuba nga ate otumbula bya bulambuzi okuggyako ng'osobodde okuba nga ate otereeza enguudo za Uganda era ng'enguudo za Bugisu sub-region wano naddala mu district eza waggulu eyo nga Mbale district upper nga Bulambuli saako ne district ye Sironko awamu ne district y'abannaffe bali abanamisindwa bali bubi nnyo naddala mu byenguudo. So byebimu ku ebyo ba MPs saako ne ba LC5s basobodde okuba nga ate boogerako olunaku olwaleero era nga bagambye nti bagenda kuba batekinga action omulundi oguddako era nga kwebyo bagenda okuba nga ate bakola kwe kuvisitinga Bunambutye settlement camp basobole okuba nga ate balaba embeera abantu abo gye balimu then basobole okuba nga ate bakola resolutions bagende paka office of the prime minister babuuze Honorable Nabbanja ku kiki ekyatuuka ku resettlement program ey'abantu abo abali e Bunambutye. Byonna bye tugenda okuba nga ate tukulaga wano ku Mbale Express TV.
Bududa said the major priorities is Wubula Bududa Satra Road, and then he also talked of the seed school pledge that the president made to that school, Wumayoka Seed School. He promised a bus, so he wanted us to follow up on that. And then we also had the president in 2013 where he promised the monument in Namezi Parish in memory of their lost lives. So he also brought that to our attention. The government to provide funds, government had promised to provide funds to traditional schools. So he also said we should look at those schools per district. For his case, it was Bulucheke SS. So we should look at exploiting that, and our people can benefit in those areas where we are having traditional schools. He also mentioned the issue of Bugisu University. He mentioned the issue of the national park because this is a cross-cutting issue. So we realize that most of the things are in most of the districts because the issues are surely cross-cutting. Whatever is affecting Manafa is in Bududa, is in Mbale and all over. So when you see me repeating them, you should know that it's because they came from every chairperson. Then you also mentioned the national park issue, which is a cross-cutting issue, the conflicts between UWA and the people. That one we also have to look into it. He mentioned the issues of the people who were taken to Bunambutye resettlement camp and Queen, that they are not living in good conditions. So we'll also follow up on that. We came to Namisindwa, and in Namisindwa, he also emphasized the issue of UWA and the national park. and saying matters we are looking at coexistence, but we also need to find a permanent solution to this because our people are still having issues, the same issues happening year in, year out, and we have many court cases that we should first push government to decide on because those will give a foundation for the other issues that actually we are having currently. And Namisinda also talked of the relocation to be in safer places that are nearby. Instead of us carrying our people because they are in places which are not safe, we take them to camps like maybe Kwen, Unambuche. Unambuche. We can look at having towns nearby where the people can be transferred or relocated to instead of taking them to further places. He also noted on the issue of health center 4 status needed in Namisindwa. The health challenge, the chair has also guided on what we should look at. Upgrading those that are in health center 3s, we take them to 4s. Those that are in 4s, we look at least a district hospital per district. He also noted the issue of the administrative units that are needed all over the region. But much as we are looking at this, let us be realistic. Because if you're having one district, and you're asking maybe you want a municipality, you want another constituency, you want another district, but all in one district, then it's clear that we will not be pushing for a common agenda as leaders. So let us guide our people on what can be achievable, and we stand on that as leaders in the region. He also mentioned the 2 roads, that's Kofu, Wakaweka, Magale Road, and then Magale Wombo, Rakaka Road. And then he mentioned the issue of the cultural institution of Mama Saba, that as leaders we should come in and give our direction because the Mama Saba are waiting to hear from us. Mbale District emphasized the issue of the increase in the wage bill because it's stopping them, I think, from many issues in the district, so he wanted us to push for that through our ministry. That's what we have, Honorable Lydia Wanyoto. And then he mentioned the seed schools that are needed in 3 sub-counties in the district that are not having secondary schools. Also mentioned the issue of the cultural institution and who is organizing exactly. So we need as leaders to come up and look at that. The airstrip is also needed, and this is a regional benefit for all of us in the region. The university also emphasized on that, the district hospital, OA issues, and the minister in charge of Bugisu affairs. Just as we are having many ministries in Bunyoro in charge of Bunyoro affairs, we have in northern Uganda, we have those affirmative ministries. As Bugisu, we should also come up and demand. We appreciate what government has done, but also demand at least for a ministry in charge of our affairs. Maybe if we had that, we wouldn't be having the issues we are having. As Omumukok and all that, we could have found a solution. The next is Manafa, and in Manafa, he proposed the NFA land that is near Oxford could be considered for a public university. I also mentioned the roads on low-cost seeding that were promised 60 kilometers, but recently they cut to 15 kilometers, so he wanted a follow-up on that. The health, in the health department, he mentioned the Bugolobi Health Center 4 to be upgraded to a district hospital. Bugobero. Yes. And then he also said we should be able to follow up on the 400 million that was given to construct a health center for. I didn't get the name clearly, but I think Chair will guide me on that. Then the industrial hub that is in Suni. And I also noted on the issue of heavy trucks that do sand mining, which are killing the roads in Manafa district. There a bylaw is needed to fix that, so the leadership should come up and guide further on that. Next is Sironko district, and in this, Bugisu issues in the district are similar here. Just as you have seen, most of them are being repeated.
That those cases are decided. That even if it's not in our favor, at least let's get a decision that will guide the government to get a permanent solution on the issues of the national park. Because even as of now, government can't come and show us where we stop when we still have those cases. So we need to push and have a permanent solution. And once cases are resolved, Chair, we need to push that boundary marks are really marked, so that we know where we stop and where the national park starts from, to avoid the clashes. And also, like I said, we promote coexistence. If those two are handled, what's the process? Then, the issue of relocations. As leaders, I think we should also, I personally don't support the idea of taking people to Ramburi. We need another format. That yes, safety is one issue, but Ramburi is not safe. As leaders, we could give government another option of people relocating within the areas. If you have issues in Sekuru, come to Bugisu, come to Tiyo area. Within, but that is not Ramburi. Government had an idea of compensating people as they run to safer places. But here I want to report to you that there are issues even there. I think that's why there is slow responses. We've gone through the list, because at least each chairman must be having that document, apart from Barry, who is like safe. But for Bududa, me, and partly Manafa, because you can't on outside, and some other sub-counter base are affected. We have very huge lists of people who are supposed to be compensated by Office of Prime Minister. The concerns from the office that really we have cost beneficiaries is true. That if you go through those lists and you really verify with the reality on the ground, there are issues. Maybe we can help government that, because at the end of the day, we are doing things at the expense of those who are really affected. There are those who really need these funds for them to shift. But also there are those, like Nabende stays in Bali, but had access to the team which came and, they fixed in their people. So those cost beneficiaries are thriving at the expense of the real intended beneficiaries. And at the end of the day, the project is at slow pace. Now government is also confused. For the issue of Ramburi, from 2020 up to now, they have constructed less than 500 houses. Actually, to be, and that should be the justification that government is also not ready to really take care people to Ramburi. The space in that space, only 459, and we are supposed to relocate over 3,000 people. So means we shall need 50 years to finish all these people. Cost is the foundation. Like here, outside there, people are waiting for what leaders say about what the imbalance. Few days to go, a lot of confusion. Everybody is in charge. We are going to remain with the imbalance. Now I think we are yet to kill it. So as our chair kindly, people outside there are waiting to hear the direction you can give, so that many are actually anticipating that people will be dying and will be crashing from total, which I believe that your intervention and the team can really help and restore first public trust, but also showing direction how we can move. Thank you very much. Those are the real things I wanted to share, and so that they can be captured in our agenda. That will be our working document. Thank you.
But as of now, our coffee is really very old. We need to push and have a national coffee replanting program facilitated by government, provide seedlings to our farmers so that we replace these old coffee trees that we are having. There are regions in Uganda that have not produced coffee ever, but now they are pushing to have coffee in those regions. But for us, the grandfathers of coffee, we are here and ours is getting depleted. So we need that program in place. Like Luke said, I think this is a government policy all districts in Bugisu without district hospitals. Emma was pushing for health center 4. We push for district hospitals in every district in Bugisu. Then about the resettlement plan for our people. Bugisu, every year, and yet to come during the rain season, we are going to have mudslides and landslides. Let us have a permanent and a better solution or settlement plan for our people. We have tried camps in Bulambuli, Kiriandongo, but literally we've failed. Government has failed. Let us have an alternative resettlement plan for our people in Elgon zone. And in fact, Chairman, I will not refer to this as disaster, because these things happen every year. So we need a better resettlement plan for our people, Bugisu leaders. Let people be resettled in areas they are comfortable. And let them be given enough money that can resettle them. You give someone 10 million to resettle a person. Of our sites, we shall stand a chance to benefit from tourism. Thank you, Chairman.
We wanted a stadium. If we are saying if we do not get money for construction of a stadium, we will renovate what we have. So that is in our plan. We are also thinking that in Mbale City we are preparing it really for tourism, for promotion. Already we have a zoo, so we want to see how to partner with these people and the Wildlife Authority to make sure we have sites. And we are glad that it should be October, we are hosting the World Day for Tourism in Mbale City. So we are glad that we are going to have this. It's going to be hosted here. So we want to identify our areas of tourism so that we can work together with the district and see how we can develop those areas and be able to get money. And one of the things that we also want to support, we had a conversation with the Commissioner for Tourism, and we're interested even for the cultural site. It's just because our people are busy on non-issues. On our agenda, we do not have real serious business. They are only just umukuka. But life, Mbale City or our region is beyond what we are talking about. So the Commissioner was interested to see how can they think they have money that they can support us. So yesterday I sent a team, the lady who is in charge of tourism, I sent them to go and if they can meet Umukuka. And we begin, by the time people come, or Commissioner come, because they also see that we are confused. We are not on the same page. So I'm glad that yesterday they were able to meet Umukuka. They were able to talk about it, that we want to develop this place, and it was positive. And I think they have made an appointment to meet with the ministers, so that we have an agenda when we have a commissioner who has come. Selling 6,000, we make sure that we have even for market for our people, so that they are not exploited. Because for now, anyone goes and they buy at their own what price. But if we have more, if we organize, we have a factory, we have. Our farmers will know, because they even indicate that they will have a training center where they will train them right from how do you plant, how do you harvest. So that is good for us, and as we do that, we even determine the price for our people, so that for us, if our people have money, then even if you go to the field, nobody will follow you, because they also have money. So for me, I am glad that even when we are planning for many other things, I want us as a region, this is God-given. We have coffee. We need to plan for it. If it means investors, if we have land, let us see how we partner with them so that we make sure that we add value to our coffee and our people, their lives will not remain the same. I thank you, Chair.
The key issues affecting our people. We have now captured health. And under health, we are saying you are proposing that health center, we should actually advocate for upgrading of health centers, health center 2s to 3s. By the way, government phased out health center 2s. But you realize that the other sub-counties having health centers. So, and it is a government policy that actually every sub-county is supposed to have a health center 3, every constituency a health center 4, and every district a district hospital. So we are going to structure it in the sense that we shall, under health, put upgrading of health centers. Then maybe we are pushing for district hospitals. We should also include, I think, staffing. We should also advocate for having enough medical supplies, because you find some hospitals, our health centers have no drugs. So we are going to detail in such a way that when we are pushing, we look at our working document and say, here in health, this is what we say. And we shall zero down and say we have priorities for districts like Isrongo. If we come to Isrongo, what are priority areas? We shall say we want to advocate for promotion of coffee value addition. We go to Bududa, maybe we talk about that, and under that, what shall we do? That should be, maybe we talk about the issues of landslides in Bududa, the roads, we shall say infrastructure development, roads, we mention like that. So we are going to come up with the, I think, a very well structured document, which is going to be shared by us and the leaders of Bugisu. We will go through and we shall actually append our signatures on that document as a way of admitting that we commit to fully abide by the contents of this document. I want to, you mentioned something. As leaders, we are not going to continue having these meetings just to have meetings here and take photos, make speeches. Now, the next meetings, we are going to now have some practical interventions. For example, we are talking about the appalling situation of people in resettlement camp in Ulanguli. What have we done as leaders? We need next time to go and visit those people and get testimonies, so that we shall actually use those testimonies when we are engaging with the office of the Prime Minister. We shall even have videos which we can even play so that they know. So next time we don't just come here, we must be seen to be doing something for the community. Like I promised you, I don't want you to so much think about those who are not interested in having this unit. Even when we are 3 or 4, we shall fight, because we don't need everybody on board. Those who will see that we are doing something for the region will join us later. But for us, we should continue walking this talk. So, and I want to, on behalf of the caucus, to tell you that all members of parliament are willing. Even when you hear those who are in Honorable Chairman of the Misindo talked about that information asymmetry, also people not communicating responsibly, we shall engage ourselves so that as leaders we know which message is going into our people, because we need to give direction. We cannot seem to be saying this and then another person is saying a different thing from what we have agreed as leaders of this. And on the issue of the cultural institution, we agreed unanimously that we shall invite all these opposing sides, and we listen to them. But what we should agree that our Imbalu should letter from the Board of Trustees of Mbale University, and they are having a meeting as we talk. But I told them at the later stage we can organize another meeting where you will come and talk to leaders of this one. But for today we shall not be able to be in that meeting. So we are going to, with the Secretariat, we are going to refine this. We are going to capture, you read it through. But I think, Mayor, I will give you an opportunity before I close. You are a very, very big person. I cannot just lock you out. Before I close, I will invite you. You have sent me some of the issues here, but I want to invite you to yourself mention some of these things.